There is. Okay, I will just talk a little bit about what we have done so far to meet the requirements of our customers to use GNU/Linux as a in-vehicle infotainment platform. So to begin with, our customers, they want to develop an UI, and they don't want to learn how to interact with all the different components in a Linux system. So they want a homogeneous interface to all services that they are interested in into the system. They want the interface to be intact regardless of the underlying implementation. So for instance, if we switch out Bluetooth stack, they don't want to change their application because they just want to use Bluetooth, not Blues or a proprietary stack. They don't care, so to speak. The platform needs to support multiple users of the reason Mikael explained in the beginning. Users, from our perspective, can be different UIs or different programs as GPS navigation programs and so on. And they need different access policies depending on the system state and where in the car they are located, and depending on the car speed, the policies can change, or the gyros can give information that you're kind of leaving the road and then you can turn off the video, for instance. And this platform should be possible to run on basically any Linux distribution that have the services we need. So we are distribution and UI independent. And to give some examples of services we provide, to begin with the specifics in vehicles, the networks. So the MOST interface, for instance, the optical multimedia bus in cars, which is actually not optical anymore. CAN bus interface, and it comes with diagnostics and different interfaces to the car, so you can get speed and all that kind of information. More and more important in these systems are media databases. Can be local databases like index. If you connect a USB stick, you want to index the media. It can be remote databases like radio, internet radio, or some other pay service where you pay for media. And it's the same there. The UI wants a homogeneous interface. Doesn't actually care if it's a local database or a remote database. Should be. So also if we plug in a new service into the system, you actually don't need to change the UI at all. Something that's historically very important in IVI systems is radio support. And radio in cars is a bit different to radio in mobile phones or USB radios you have in your computer. It's because other subsystems in the car is actually using the radio too, like the navigation. In the car, you might switch frequency if it's an announcement of some traffic issue, so to speak, or some other information that's shown on the UI in the car. It's more and more important with mobile phone and media player integration. And we also expose a lot of other services. They're listed there, but USB is important, Bluetooth, wireless LAN, UPnP, for instance. Remote controls, gyros, temp sensors, media rendering, playlist, blah, blah. So the interesting part here is the framework is itself, as we said, it's UI independent. So it's actually something that lives in the system and talks dbus to something else. So we have done a Qt integration, which speaks dbus. And when we started this, Qt 4.6 was around. So to begin with, the dbus interfacing is really simple with the Qt. I can recommend you to look at the QDbus XML. It's tools for auto-generating code for interacting over dbus from introspection XML. But there were some parts that were missing in Qt 4.6. But we were really happy when we saw Qt Mobility coming around. It filled some of the gaps we saw. We had some issues because 4.7 was coming and multimedia was kind of jumping in between. It ended up in Qt Mobility. So when we integrate against both Qt itself and Qt Mobility. And some of the things are a bit overlapping what we do, and we have to extend a lot because, for instance, the radio implementation in Mobility 1.10 is kind of more made for a mobile phone than a car system. So we have to do a lot of integration to get certain things working. We decided quite early that we won't do any rendering to the screen, so we let Qt render everything, basically. So, but what we have done, we've written a multimedia plugin for Qt Mobility. The renders media, but Qt is actually the one that puts the widget somewhere on the screen. But we decode the media into the area that Qt gives us. When it comes to audio, that's something completely different. We have to route it ourselves. And when we did this, we were really happy about the Qt documentation. So for me, I'm quite new to Qt, so it was really easy to pick up how Qt works, and it feels like one big API set, depending on if you look at multimedia or Qt core, it looks the same, and the documentation is great, and especially the training material. Maybe. And we tried to follow this style and give the same kind of documentation in what we do.